So we're here. This whole morning has been kind of surreal. This is the vest I'm gonna be wearing. So
it was the day after my birthday, which I remember because it was the day after my birthday, and because a few months prior when we had met with the surgeon, he had said he wasn't sure if he could do the operation as soon as he wanted to, and there wasn't really a standard medical practice for this sort of procedure. And so he asked me when my birthday was, and I say July 1st. He checks his calendar. He goes, "Are you free July 2nd?" And I said yes, and we scheduled it that day. So it's 5 a.m. on July 2nd, the day after my 16th birthday. I wasn't allowed to eat or drink anything, so my parents just wake me up and we hop in the car and we drive down to this little private practice a little ways outside the Twin Cities. The first thing we do, Dr. Tholen takes me and my parents into a room and he has me take my shirt off, and I think it was the first time I had been shirtless in front of my parents for at least a year. He takes out a Sharpie, like a permanent marker, and starts just drawing on my chest where he's going to put the incisions. He has me to straighten my back so that he can get the placements just right, and I spot my mom sitting across the room and she's crying. My dad looks at her and asks what's wrong, and she just shakes her head and says something along the lines of, "That's not your body." But then she smiled, and I think that was probably the moment that she was absolutely sure in what we were doing. After I got all marked up, I was wheeled into another room and they put an IV in my arm and they said count to 10 and you will be asleep, and I think I got to about 2, and then I woke up a few hours later, and then I slept, ate saltines, and drank Gatorade for like 2 days. The recovery process is about 3 weeks in total. The whole process felt natural. Like, yeah, this was supposed to happen. This was always what was meant to happen. I mean, I've been watching these YouTube videos of other trans guys getting their top surgeries for years. I knew what it looked like the first week, and the second week, and the third week. I knew you had to get these drains taken out. I knew you had this vest on so you couldn't really see your chest. I knew you could not shower for the first 2 weeks. And experiencing it felt so surreal because I was living through this experience that I had played through in my head over and over again 1,000,000 times. But I really don't think it was till the end of the third week when the vest came off and the last bandages came off and I got to see what my chest looked like that it hit me. Apparently neighbors would come up and ask my parents what was going on with me because they had noticed I felt so much more confident, and I did. But I mean, it was more than that. I felt, it sounds so dramatic, but I felt reborn, or born for the first time. Like there was this other person, this real me that nobody else was seeing, that had been hiding under literal layers of skin, and suddenly I was there. I recorded the whole process myself, or as much as I could have, considering I was drugged out of my mind and very, very sleepy and exhausted and sore. I don't think there has been a single experience in my life that has felt so full circle as hitting that record button and showing my chest. All of a sudden, I was all of those guys who had given me hope.
alright, so this is what I look like at 3 weeks post-op. So there isn't a huge difference. This summer I've kind of been obnoxiously shirtless. I feel like I'm finally in the body I want.
It's a little weird to think I'm 5 years post-op. Honestly, it feels like it's been a lot longer.